He's just having a small peanut butter flavoured snack before the evening comes. I remember my first experience with a crested barbet like this. Unsurprisingly, in Johannesburg there are lots of them. And in fact it was probably the first time I'd ever held a bird. We used to have a cat called Miss Brown. Miss Brown was Burmese, chocolate-coloured, vicious creature. And one-eyed though she was, one day she brought in a crested barbet, quite dead. But I unfurled its wings and saw the tremendous colours. And I wouldn't say that I was hooked on birds from that day onward, but I was mightily impressed to know the name of the bird, which is a good thing, now that I'm a guide, don't you think, Seb? Yes, it's good that I know what that is. Now where David comes from, of course, we've only got 3 barbets here, sometimes 4. Where David comes from, there are a great plethora of spectacular barbets of different colours and sorts. And he'll show you pictures and tell you all about them when he does his first barbet sighting here, won't you, David? Yes, good. 100% excellent. I'm talking so quietly because really they don't often let you get this close. He's watching us. Something's alerted him. No, 1 or 2 more peanut snacks. There we are. I'd quite like some peanut snack, wouldn't you? And they are quite scruffy, as you can see, but their wings, which of course are the most important parts of a bird if they want to avoid plummeting to their deaths, they are in perfect shape, and the feathers perfectly smooth, whereas the rest of the bird looks a little bit like it's run through a hedge. Oh, that's my head, sorry about that. I was just checking if my earpiece was still plugged in. Luke is either so astonished by the glory of the sighting, or he's fallen asleep. Kaya, you say a termite snack? Yes, indeed. And a termite, of course, apparently tastes like peanuts. I think I've eaten a termite. I don't remember thinking it tasted very much like peanuts, though. Lucas confirmed that it wasn't that he was asleep, but that he was struck dumb by the magnificence of this sighting. David confessed to being slack-jawed today, and Luke is struck dumb. Now, this bird, along with the lilac-breasted roller, do not exhibit sexual dimorphism, Justin, which means that it is not possible for me to tell whether or not he is a male or she is a female. And it's one of the great mysteries to me that nobody has been able to explain why it is that colourful birds like this have both male and female of the same colour. The ones where the male is colourful and the female is drab, very easy to explain. But where both species, that's disgusting, where both species are expending the energy to make those colours, they're very difficult to explain, because it's not for camouflage, I don't think. And those colours there on the barbet made by, I just need to try and remember this now, the carotenoids are the pigments that make the red and the orange and the yellow, and then the blacks will be made by melanin. Now look at his beak, Laura. His beak is not the same as that of a finch or a canary. Now the beak of a finch or canary would be shorter and more cone-shaped. This one is a multi-purpose beak. He's a frugivore, but he will also, of course, eat insects, because if he was a frugivore full-time out here, he'd almost certainly die in the wintertime. There's not much fruit for him to eat, but there are a few insects that he can dig around in. So this is kind of a multi-purpose bill, and he is not related to finches or to canaries or waxbills or those sorts of birds. I don't know what he is actually related to, but the barbets extend all the way into India, all the way up through here and into Southeast Asia. Now it sounds to me like Stivovor is nearing home, and that's good because it's getting dark.
Yes, we are nearly home. We're just passing Vuyatela Dam, and we bumped into the herd of wildebeest again. After their afternoon drink, they are slowly moving back to the open area, I would assume, of quarantine. And wildebeest himself was saying how well this herd has done. Since he started here, they've definitely grown in number. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 24 now. Marvellous to see the numbers increasing. Apparently the Styx Pride came through a while ago and smashed a few of them in one go, which is never good for your population growth. So looking at this herd here, you can tell the breeding herd is all accumulated there. And the big male is the one on the left who is busy giving us a bit of a stare down moments before. He's often the biggest and stands sideways to you to show you how big he is. Wildebeest use a lot of olfactory communication in everything they do, and then after olfactory it's going to be a lot of visual. So you'll often see the male will move off and stand broadside to you to show you how big he is in a sort of posturing motion, similar to what the nyalas do, to say, don't fight me, look how big I am, how dare you want to fight me, because size is very important. I was saying to wildebeest earlier, what's the point in fighting everyone if you can avoid fighting by just showing them how big you are, and everyone goes, I'm not going to fight you. You last a lot longer as an individual, especially as a male. Impalas are making all sorts of noises. And James was saying earlier that lots of male antelope die because of their behavior, because of how they interact, and that is very true. But if you can be bigger and stronger than the rest just by looking bigger and stronger, then what a bonus that is. What a bonus that is. So, James was 100% correct. We are making our way home. It is getting dark on the horizon, and the fading light. We are walking into the fading evening. So, talking about someone who thinks he's really big and strong. How is his toe doing? Let's go over to Brent.
Well, you never know what you're going to find out on a live safari. Which is the bottom of someone's car. Put it there. Throw it away. I think someone was speeding. Naughty, naughty. Oh dear. These modern cars are made with far too much plastic that just falls off them out here in the bush. See, the only thing, well, Steve was... What did Steve say about me thinking I'm big and strong? Well, I know for sure the one thing Steve is, and especially after a bushwalk this afternoon while it was quite warm, is that Steve is strong smelling after his walk today. We're just coming up towards Sydney's waterhole, and it's a very busy thoroughfare for lots of different animals, this area. And also Shadulu's been spending quite a bit of time around here, so maybe she's popped in for a visit. It is absolutely gorgeous at the moment. It's always tough to choose your favorite time of the day, but I still think mine's probably dawn. It's that awkward time where the light is dropping a bit. Hello, spurfowl. Swanson's spurfowl. Oh, yeah, that was kind of it. There you go. Hello, Swansons. Are you going to give us a crow? That was more interesting. And we heard some crested francolins, very upset crested francolins behind us. Now, as I say, could very easily be a bird of prey that's upset them. It could be a slender mongoose, or it could be a spotted kitty. Oh, now Murphy's Law, as we move away from the Swansons, it starts making lots of noise. I don't think it's a spotted kitty because I can see an impala through the bush there. Let's see, is the impala looking worried? No, it is not. You can see it there. There's a male impala. So, no, it is not a spotted kitty, probably a mongoose or a bird of prey. Now, we're going to keep searching. Oh, there's giraffe, and it looks like they're trying to mate. So I was going to send you to James, but now I'm not. There's a male giraffe chasing a female giraffe up ahead. Oh dear, I'm going to have to come back. There's another piece of this chap's car down here. Where did they go? They just ran across the road at speed, the giraffes. And they were here somewhere. Wow, that was a fast disappearing pair of giraffe. They have vanished. Okay, I'm going to try and find the giraffe. I think Senzo also wants to put on his IR light. So, I can't believe it. The two giraffes just came shooting across the road and they're gone. There's Zebra. Hello, Zebra. But as I said, Senzo's probably getting upset with me because I'm pointing out animals and he needs to swap over into infrared as it gets a bit darker. What's that behind? Oh, it's a kudu. So the giraffe's not running away from a big cat. For all the other animals are still relaxed. As I said, it looked like the male was feeling frisky. Okay, I'm going to go try find those giraffe. And I'm going to give Senz a chance to put on his infrared. So while we do that, let us go see James, who's layering up to get warm.
Well, we're here on the far eastern boundary, wondering if Thandi won't perhaps step out onto the road in front of us. I'm pretty sure Brentley Smith has been up and down this road today about 5 times or so. It's quite nostalgic being out, you know, just the two of us, Brent and I. Of course, when we began this sojourn, well, he began it before I did, so he began in the January 3 years ago, and I began, I think it was in March. Now, was I fired in March from my previous employment? Then I think it must have been May. It was the 20th of May, actually. That's what it was. So I'm almost on 3 years now. And, well, for a long time it was a very small crew. And so oft times it would be just Brent and I driving around, trying to find interesting things. I can't believe it's 3 years already. That really is quite shocking. I know everybody says that. It's become a bit of a cliche, but still, there's a reason everyone says it. There are some elephant tracks on the road here. They look fairly fresh. They're on top of any vehicle tracks there are, so we'll just follow them along for a while. It is, of course, now getting fairly dark, so we have the infrared light on, and if we find this elephant, we will view it in infrared. which will be black and white for you. There are some human tracks on the road too. I'm sure Brent was looking at tracks here. There he is. Is that him? Is that the back end of an elephant? Or just yet another bush? No, it's yet another bush. Fantastic. Anyway, let's keep trying. Here, the elephant made a deposit, you can see. We're going to drive over his deposit now. It's not nearly as satisfying as driving over a buffalo deposit. Oh my goodness, I believe there is a hyena on the dam cam. Please go and have a look at it. I'm afraid I'm miles and miles away from there, but we will make our way there slowly. In fact, we should probably head back there, because maybe that hyena is going to look for Hosanna. That is possible. So if you would like to see the hyena, you can go across the dam cam. Have a look there. Let's have a little listen here. The drongo's calling. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, there are two interesting things to see and hear. Firstly, the drongos you can hear attempting to go. They're almost attempting to do a. What are they doing? They're trying to do a rattling testicular call. That's what they're doing. And what we are trying to do, of course, is show you the moon. Unfortunately, the camera settings are such that it can't believe we could possibly want to look at it darker than that. But Sebastian will get it right. It's not full yet. And then the other thing that I can hear, every so often when the southeast breeze stops, I can hear probably about, let me count, 15 or so. Say 12 to 15 kilometers as the crow flies. Someone in the village of Dixie is having a rip snorting party tonight. I can just hear the doo, 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 very, very faintly on the wind. You won't be able to pick it up. There it is. Can you hear it? Eh? Can you hear it? What? Oh, no. Dixie. And there's the gorgeous picture, of course, that Sebastian has created for you, and, well, it goes very nicely with a party in Dixie. That's the village just near us. Gosh, it must be absolutely deafening inside the house where they're playing it. And that reminds me of a similar time of the day. It's always at this time of the day, and I'm sure it's because the wind stops. There are probably also other sort of atmospheric reasons that it happens. But it reminds me of, I was driving along in my first bush job at Ngala on a ridge crest like this, and I stopped the car and I looked down south, and I could hear this noise, and it wasn't an electronic noise, it was human voices. Loud. Well, you could hear they were singing very loudly. They were a very long way from me, probably about 20 kilometers from where I was sitting. And it was a Sunday afternoon, and on Sundays, I don't know if they still do it, but around here they'd sort of have cultural gatherings, and they would dance the Muchongolo dances, and I could hear it from 20 kilometers away. That's how loud they were. They would beat these great drums until, they must have been deafened by them. And I went to watch a Muchongolo dance once, and it is a spray of colour, the likes of which you cannot believe. Okay, on we go. Now let's try and find some piece of wildlife. Alright, let's go and find out what my dearest friend Brent has managed to find, if he caught up with this amorous giraffe.
I didn't! They just vanished! They disappeared at a rate of knots into the quarry thickets, and I couldn't get another sight of them. It is quite nostalgic, only James and myself driving around. Now, some of you might remember the day I made James say a naughty word live. That was fun. For those of you who don't, it was one of those quiet days, and we hadn't seen much, and I was tracking, I think, Kruger. I was off my vehicle walking, and we had vehicle issues, so James was on doing drive on the Mahindra that morning, on the squeaky pig, as we call it, because it makes a lot of noise as it drives around. It sounds like a squeaky pig. And I heard James, as he does, talking away as he was coming down the road. So I got myself behind a convenient quarry bush, and I leapt out of the bush going, "Blah!" And James went, "Wah!" Leap. And I thought that was very funny. James was not impressed at that very moment, though. And then James carried on down the road, and I was walking back to my car to carry on my drive, and my earpiece wasn't in, and I didn't realize, and James was losing signal, so final control crash cut away to my feed, but I didn't know, and I walked up to the cameraman and I said, "Guess what? I just made James say beep." So you guys got a beep beep from each of us that morning. I thought that was very funny. I still think I'm very funny. The look on James's face. I know some of you probably there's a YouTube clip of it. So if anyone knows where it is, pop it on. Hashtag Safari Live. Share it on Twitter. It was a very funny morning. Yeah, it's James and I have been with Wild Earth for over 3 years now. And how things have changed in terms of the size of the crew. And it has been a wild ride, hasn't it? 11 years for Wild Earth today. It's its birthday. And I think, well, there's a lot of us who've been around for quite a while now. Justin, I'm not sure. I'm sure James has got me back for it at some point, but I can't remember. Well, and James, I think, gets me back every time we do a TV show, and it's his favourite thing to refer to me as feral. Yes, but I got James nicely actually during the Mara TV shows with making him wear a yellow shuka so we could be twinsies. That was very funny. Senzo's still cackling about that on the back there. Yes, a shuka does not fit with James's sense of style. But neither should blue shorts be on safari. No, I didn't say anything about James's blue shorts. Oh, no, it's not. I thought it was a chameleon, but it is a leaf with a spot of bird dropping on it. Now, without further ado, let us take you to the fashion icon of the Wild Earth camp, the man with all the muscles and the tight blue shorts, James Hendry.
I do not have tight blue shorts. That is a deep and very unfair lie. I do not have... No, we're live, sorry. David thought I was telling him about my shorts, but I wasn't. I was telling all of you about my shorts, which was much more important. I do not have tight blue shorts. That is a foul and contemptible untruth. I can smell popcorn, though. Now, I don't know, did Brent mention having leopard tracks this afternoon, male leopards going into Torchwood? Does anybody recall? No? Well, somebody must have had them, because there are leopard tracks, male leopards going into Torchwood. That popcorn smell, for those of you new viewers, are often associated either with the genet marking its territory or with the leopard marking its territory. But there are no leopard tracks that I can see on the road. I must confess that the day that Leo Smith leapt out of the bushes and gave me a fright was most amusing. Not for me initially, but much more amusing when Brent's own joke fell on him. It was great. And the Great Shukarov, of course, the Great Shukarov of 2017 was... I feel it took up rather too much time of the actual migration series. Right, we have a flower we can look at. I don't know much about this flower. In fact, I don't know anything about it, but its name. Is there a creature in here? It's called Kalenko. It's this thing here. No, I can't see anything there. So it's a Kalenko, and it makes very subtly purpley pink flowers, sometimes orange. Over there, it looks like a giant piece of spinach. I'm not sure I would eat it as a spinach though, and I imagine quite unusual to find it at this time of the year. But I'm afraid further than that, I'm not sure there's much else I can tell you about it. You can see little buds there. There they are. So that is Kalenko. Oh, I believe Brent, driving along exactly the same road earlier today, told you about exactly the same plant, because he clearly was thinking the same thing as I was, thinking, what am I going to say next along here? Ah, yes, let me point out this thing. Let's keep looking. Keep looking along here. And one of the most common things for us to see out here at night, of course, is the chameleon. And Paula, we will do our level best to find you a chameleon, I promise. They tend to be less common as the winter comes, but they also have been less common, I think, since the drought of 2 years ago. Right, we're approaching Biffleshoek Waterhole. Mising. Let's see what we can find there. And Pangolin, you are still looking for your potato bush. I cannot believe how remiss I've been. Okay, I guarantee a potato bush by the end of this drive. Okay, it's guaranteed. I will find it for you. I'm going to increase my speed right now. I think I know where I can find one, and I can drive there immediately. That would be great. Then I can get it off my back, this terrible guilt that I carry around with me, that every drive I neglect to find you what you so richly want to see and deserve to see. Alright, let's have a quick look around the waterhole here, see if anything's going on, if the world's most boring hippo's decided to come out of the water. No, there he is. He is yet to replace his friends who he bored out of the dam yesterday, we think. They eventually got so sick and tired of his... Ooh, yes, please go into infrared. We're going into infrared. Luke, are you ready? On the count of 1. Okay. And the world's most boring hippo, while we were going infrared, actually jumped around a bit. But now he's returned to his normal state. And he's hiding. There are 2! He's got a friend. Well, perhaps they have things in common, you know, similar interests, or maybe they're going to have a fight. Here we go. This could be quite good. Let's stay here for a while and not remind ourselves, of course, not to be distracted from our quest for the potato bush. No. It's the world's most boring hippo fight now. Pangolin, you say I've just made a terrifying promise. You are absolutely correct, I have. In fact, it's so terrifying I feel we should move on. Yes. That is much more a hippo negotiation than it is the fight. Let's go over across to the sugar man himself. He has something in a tree.
Yes, we have a lovely, big, flap-necked chameleon. Very, very pretty. Very, very green. Aren't you? Very green. And let's see how many chameleons we can find tonight. I think we'll find at least 4. Senzo says 2. You know what, Senzo? You're getting very cheeky now towards the end of drive, so guess what? I think it's time, Senz. What do you think? Yes, I think it's time, Senzo. Come on, let's go out into the open, because make sure you're not going to get eaten in a thicket, because I'm going to put you in the spotlight. No. Yeah. No, you have to. You can't sing from behind the camera. Why? You can sit on. But why? I think you should go stand where we can all see you.
No, I can sit here.
Oh, you can sit here. Okay, he can sit on my dashboard. Okay.
So I can use your mic.
So you can use my mic. Yes, I'll even take my hat off. So I think it's.
Wear your hat.
No. Because I've got to. It's the mic's in my shirt. You want me to take all my clothes off here, Senzo? Sure. Ah, okay. It is on now. We're going to have a little singing competition between Senzo and James. So, Senzo, you better bring your A game, because I don't like losing, eh? So this car has to win. So, guys, you're going to have to vote. Senzo or James. We're going to have Senzo singing Happy Birthday to Wild Earth in Zulu. And, well, I'm not sure what James Henry's going to get up to. Okay, maybe we're going to have to do this, Senz. Because if now it's serious, now it's a competition. I need to get... Let's give you the mic. Let's do it properly. Okay, this is a competition now. We can't lose. We can't lose, Senz. You know how much I dislike losing. Okay, so I'm just taking my mic off. Senz is going to climb forward now. Okay, so... Oh, just so... Senzo is... Come on, Senz, I'm waiting for you.
I'm just putting my camera on...
Oh, he's putting on it. Okay. Let's go. We're going to hand over Senz the mic.
Should I take my... with me? Oh!
You can take your earpiece off, I think. I'll let you know what's going on.
Okay.
There we go,
See me there?
Yeah, we can see you well. Okay, there we go.
Are we changing everything?
Yeah, no, we can't lose. You've got to wear the mic. There we go. So we can get it there. Let's make sure the mic's in the right position. We don't want James...
Where's my notes, guys?
Notes? Did you make notes?
Yeah.
Oh, this is getting very serious.
It's a competition now.
It's a competition now, guys, so this is very serious. Okay, do you want me to count you in, Senz?
Yeah, count me in.
Count you in, okay. A one, 2, 3.
Uyazalwa namhlanje, uyazalwa namhlanje, uyazalwa namhlanje. Uyazalwa namhlanje.
Now quiet voice.
Unemnyaka emingaki, unemnyaka emingaki, unemnyaka emingaki. Wild Ed. Unemnyaka emingaki, ukhulilu Wild Ed. Ukhulilu Wild Ed, ukhulilu Wild Ed, unemnyaka eshumi nane. Thank you, bravo.
Well
bravo,
done,
Simo.
Senz.
Bravo, Simo.
Awesome, there we go. Well done, the crowd goes wild.
Hip hip hooray!
Hip hip hooray! As the crowd goes wild, not even Mick Jagger has had a standing ovation like Senzo has just received. Okay, now we're going to send you across to the losing car, and before we do that, there has to be a reason that they're going to lose. Kirsten just sent a picture to our group, so we're going to send you across to James and that man on camera. Look at Sebastian. Okay, let's go across to James and Seb.
Seb has found a chameleon, and I will. Did Brent show you what everyone's laughing at? I will show you the picture of Sebastian. You won't put it on camera. Anyway, well, maybe Brent will do it for you. I don't know where Kirsten found it, but she found a picture of Sebastian about... Oh, a viewer found it and posted it on Twitter. Thank you very much for finding Sebastian there. He looks a little bit like Michael Bolton in that photograph, I feel. So perhaps you... Seb, do you want to do the singing competition? No. No. Okay. Well, that is a chameleon, everybody. The flap-necked chameleon, spotted by none other than Sebastian Michael Bolton Rombi this evening. Righty, let's leave him there. He's changing colour, back to his less luminous self. Luke, at what stage would you like me to perform Happy Birthday? Okay, so there's pressure, there's a Twitter poll. Okay. I'm going to unplug myself because I need to stand so that my diaphragm can be suitably... Shall we give myself some spotlight? I'll tell you what, let's give David the spotlight, and he can shine it on me, so I feel like that I'm at La Scala. Me 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 mo 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 mo. No, this will be done unaccompanied. Tell me when they're ready. Lights, please. There we are. Just on me. Yes, there we go. Now I feel like I'm on the stage. This is a rendition of Happy Birthday for Wild Earth in the language of Shangaan. O Koriles Feswe, O Koriles Feswe, O Korila, Wild Earth, O Korila, Appropriately, all I could hear were crickets. Oh, thank you. It's a bit tough when you have to ask for applause like that. Thank you, David. Thank you very much. Yes. Ah, there we are. Let me plug myself back in. I imagine that the rendition that Senzo gave was very different from that one. Oh, very nice. I'm very glad that Brent was observing that on his YouTube feed. He's very competitive. The fact that he is thinking about claiming victory for something that Senzo has achieved, I really think is a little bit off. You know, I'm more than happy to concede defeat to Senzo, but I'm not sure that I'm going to give Leo Smith any credit for it. Leo Smith is more tone-deaf than that log over there. He has many talents, but singing is not one of them. Senzo is currently in the lead, which I'm not very surprised about at all. Anyway, let's go across to them and get some feedback from Brent Leo Smith. Of course, he's a wonderful music critic.
Yes, I have to be a critic, because if I sing, you will all turn off the stream immediately. I will break something in Final Control. It just would not be good if I started singing. So, I don't know. I think Senzo's winning this one. I know we watched James's performance on my cellular device. I don't know. I think it's a close one. What do you think, Senz? What do you think of James's performance?
He tried his best.
He tried his best. Yes, he did. It was very entertaining. I'll give him that. It was very entertaining. Now, as James... Oh! So, Senzo is in the lead on the polls. Go Senzo. 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 Yes. Yeah, Senzo's saying vote, vote. Wait, we almost need Senzo to do one of those pop idol or voice things. Vote. Number 8. The end. Me. You know, maybe we should get Senzo to do his vote for me face like they do on those music shows. But it's as I say, it does feel a little bit like the old days, just old Commander Bond and myself bumbling about the bush, trying to find animals and keep you entertained at the same time. I say sometimes, I mean, we have such amazing sightings, and it is great to spend all the time we do with the animals. But I won't lie, sometimes I quite like the quieter drives when we do a bit of reminiscing and look at some of the smaller things, and a bit of birding. Now, it's getting cold quicker now, so I'm hoping that we are going to chance upon an aardvark one of these drives. So I've come through this area. There's a lot of aardvark in this area. Apparently, Luke's just all about the competition today. So apparently we're also on a chameleon competition. We are currently 1-1 with chameleons. So, well, hopefully, I think we can find 4 on the drive. I might be pushing a little bit. I think Senzo's right. 2 is a safe bet. 4 is, oof, living dangerously. Now, Senzo says we don't need 4, we just need 2, which was 1. He says just as long as we beat James. And Sebastian, the long raven-haired young Frenchman who used to present occasionally. No, wait, Sebastian wouldn't show you. I'll show you again for those who missed it. Oh, so steamy. I think we should call him Steam Cat Rombe. I just want to know where the hat's from, because that ain't a bush hat. That's not a bush hat, let's be honest. It is hilarious. I suppose when we look at pictures of yourself when you're young, when you get a bit older, you think, what was I doing? What was I thinking? I mean, I know my dad used to give me a lot of grief about having long hair, till I found a picture of him in his university days, not only sporting long luscious locks, but bell bottoms with embroidered parrots on them. That was quite special. I don't think anyone can get away with bell bottoms with embroidered parrots on them. I mean, that just should stop. It should never have been made in the first place. Okay. Come on, aardvark. Aardvark, aardvark. I'll take a leopard, but I am looking for aardvark. Now, one of the animals that I can't think of any that migrate regularly is reptiles, Cobalt. I'm trying to think now, and I'm not sure of any reptile that migrates. You could argue that sometimes crocodiles, but they don't really migrate. They just move to different areas. It's not a migration as such. So I can't think of any reptiles that migrate. There might, I don't think so. I can't think of a snake species that migrates. Chameleons, they don't move fast enough to migrate, neither do tortoises. That's a good question, Cobalt. I might be wrong, but offhand, I cannot think of any reptile that has a seasonal migration or a regular migration. I'm lying. Of course. I am lying. There is, of course, a reptile that migrates. It is a turtle. Quite a few of the different turtle species have migration routes. So, there we go. There's the answer to that. Turtles. Loggerheads, leatherbacks, hawks, hawksbeak, green, olive ridley. I think they all migrate. So there we go. That was close. I nearly made a fool of myself. Good thing I remembered. What? James? Really? He's going to fulfill a long-fulfilled promise about pangolin? I don't believe.
Did you say live? Oh, right, we are live. Pangolin, I sit here in the dirt for you. Here is the potato bush. Now I know that you have been searching for it with us for some week now, I think 7 days or so. And I did say to you that I thought you would be slightly disappointed when you did see it. And I'm sure now you can see why I said that. Here it is. It is neither particularly ugly, neither particularly attractive. It doesn't have anything remarkable about it flower-wise. The only thing it has is this remarkable scent, which it does not have at the moment, because this particular example does not have the flowers, and the flowers are small, green, and completely inconspicuous. So that is the potato bush, Phyllanthus reticulatus. I'll bring a piece even closer for you if you would like me to. I'm just glad to be able to tick this off my list of things that I keep forgetting to do. There it is. Is that of any use? Do you want some light on it, Seb? Right. So it always grows in these thick drainage line areas, and they're, like I said 2 days ago, they're a little bit like cicadas. When you hear them calling, you think you'll easily find one, and then they stop calling. And for some reason, when you can smell these things, you can almost never manage to find them. Anyway, we didn't find this one with smell. We just drove into a thick drainage line area. Okay, let's continue and see if we can't find an animal. Now it really would be a last-minute leopard. Have I plugged in? I have plugged in. I'm ready to go. Lucas, I'm not sure what the signal will be like. What was that, Luke? You laughing? Oh no, this is a animal. She hasn't seen it. Well, at least I know exactly where one is now. Why do pangolin could easily be a he. I don't know if pangolin is a he or she. Anyway, sorry about that. Let's turn around. Okay, sorry, signal is bad. Let's go back across to Leo Smith.
Well, now you've always got to worry when you embarrass a cameraman, because you never know what they've filmed when you're not live or whatnot. So it can always come back to haunt you. But I'm feeling pretty confident I'm safe for now. I hope. No, I'm not too worried. Yes, that is true. There was nothing embarrassing about Senzo's performance. I wait with anticipation to see who's going to take the birthday singing prize. And I think it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a tight one. But I'm backing my man. I'm his manager. If you want, yeah, that's it. I'm backing my man. Senzo is just agreeing with me there. And I'll be taking. If you want any live bookings for Senzo singing, please contact me, and we can see what we can do. He's available. Not very often, because for 6 weeks he's out in the bush filming animals, but outside of that period we'll see what we can do. Start Senzo's performing career. Of course, you do have to realize he's got very strange haircuts. I mean, half his hair is long, half it's short. It's very confusing. So Senzo got a new hairdo when he went to town because he was trying to get hold of James to pick him up, and his phone battery died, and the people of the shop wouldn't let him charge his phone unless he had a haircut, or a hairdo. So he got a new hairdo just to charge his phone so James could come fetch him. I wouldn't mind an owl tonight. It feels like an owl night. Often on these retired leadwoods. Anyway, Kea also feels like owls. Yes, I'd love to see owl. We got quite a few owl species here. We just don't see them that often. The smallest species we get is a little scops owl, which is one of my favorite calls. So scops owl, white-faced scops owl, pearl-spotted, barred, grass, spotted eagle, verreaux's, barn. I think that's all. I don't think I've forgotten any of our owls. Now, the one thing that's quite nice, the owl species we hear out in this part of Africa all have very lovely calls, apart from the barn owl, which is a screech. But there's some eagle owls from the Congo Basin rainforests that will wake you up in the middle of the night because you think someone is being cut to pieces. They are horrible. Horrible sounds, some of those owls in the rainforest. The Shelley's eagle owl in particular has got and the Akun eagle owl got horrible voices. Actually, find it for you. Play it for you quickly. It's just because after growing up in the southern African bush, you always associate owls with a really nice, lovely call. And then all of a sudden, you go up into Central Africa and you get this owl that makes you get cold sweats in the night. There we go. Okay, where's this now? Okay, I think it's the Akun is one of the ones that is horrible. No, it's not the Akun. It is the Shelley's. Listen to this. Imagine that going up next to your tent at 3 in the morning. Horrible. Truly horrible. Fortunately, the Shelley's eagle owl didn't spend too much time around our camp. It was there for about a week. All of us were severely lacking in sleep that week. It's a massive eagle owl. Massive. Dark eagle owl, very pretty, very rare, only known from about 7 or 8 different locations. That's probably because most of the Congo Basin rainforests still remain relatively unexplored and people don't spend a lot of time in them. So they'll probably occur throughout the rainforests, but it's only known from 7 different locations. Now, it is proving to be quite challenging to find some nocturnal critters for you this evening. So let's see if James is having any more luck than I am.
This is known apparently as payback. Sebastian has managed to secure a photograph of Brent Leo Smith. There is a fish, and that's probably, I think it was taken last week actually. so there it is.
Payback.
That's very nice. Poor old, unfortunately Brent's brother is now going to be in for a very rough night. That's where it came from. Sorry about that, Brent. That's from Dylan. This could open a horrible can of worms. When I see pictures of myself 10 years ago, I cringe. Apparently the final control is now rolling about on the floor, unable to contain themselves. Leo Smith will be hopping mad. He will be thinking of desperately, what can he do in the next 5 minutes? Pangolin! You did see it. And you did see Pangolin, did you see it? You went up to make a sandwich, and you came back and you did see the potato bush or not? I can't move until I hear. I'll have to move. But I have good news for you. I have good news for you. I don't know, Pangolin, if you did see it or didn't see it. Oh my goodness. Sebastian, look at that.
Yes, sir.
Have you got your potato bush, David, or did you throw it out? There we go. David has a potato bush for you, Pangolin. There it is. Right, I believe that we are going back across to Leo Smith now for the last moments of the drive, and given that he is now going to give you the winner of the competition for singing, I am going to concede gracefully now and thank you very much for taking part. Goodbye.
Okay, James, you are lucky I'm in an area with bad cell phone signal because I've got some very funny pictures of you from the Londolozi days as well. But those, I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow because I don't think, the cell phone signal's not good enough here. We're going to keep trundling on, but I think James conceding defeat before the fat lady has sung? My goodness, things have changed. Here we go. A round of applause for Senzo, the Chizi Mkizi. Senzo has won by 60%. He has got 60% of the votes. James has got 40%. And I will what I think we should do, we'll let Senzo sing us out at the end of drive today. He'll sing up into the ambient mic on top. So Senzo will sing us into the darkness.
Thank you.
And if you can't, there we go. Are you talking? Oh, 20 seconds, Senzo. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Oh no, 10 seconds. Calm down. It's been great having you all. Now that I'm panicking, there's a Senzo. Sing.
White egg,